The first examples that we have of books date from 2000 years ago. However, it was not until the invention of the printing press in the mid-13th century that the history of bookbinding came to be. Hi, I'm Erin, and welcome back to my first video on my channel. I'll be discussing the history of bookbinding. If you like this video, please let me know by either liking, commenting, or subscribing, and I'll try my best to continue making these videos. The invention of the printing press quickly spread over 200 cities and dozens of countries around the world. This was a new and exciting way to spread and access information. By 1500, Europe had spread over 20 million volumes of books alone. This invention could not come at a better time, as the flourishing of new ideas spread across the world. Thus, the printing press had a new profound impact on society itself, and created new ways of how bookbinding would come to be. In the 16th century, books were smaller than what that we're used to seeing in the modern day. This made them easier to go and bind. Instead of paper, the covers themselves were made from wood and quickly changed into pasteboards, which then would be glued together with paper from the pages. Also, gold tooling was a common use for making the titles of the books more prominent, and sometimes were even used on the spines. By the 17th century, books were seemingly more decorated and styled. In the 18th century, we see the binding become a lot nicer than what we've previously seen. However, the construction was quite simple. This was due to the invention and accessibility to new technologies. This did help people whose jobs were to bind the books to save money and help with the new production levels. By the 19th century, there was an increase of demand for books, and binders turned into mechanization to meet the challenge. Publishers also began to take control of the whole bookmaking process, from editing, to printing, to binding. Because of this, people started to buy books that had covers already bounded on top of them. As the publishers took over the entire bookmaking process, they began to see the importance of a cover. Cover designs could reflect the content and set the tone for the reader or attract the consumer. Not everyone was happy with these changes. This included bookbinders themselves, who regarded books as an art form instead of just objects. Although bookbinders over the centuries practiced excellent craftsmanship, they thought of themselves as craftsmen. After the Industrial Revolution, books were produced by the thousands. By the 20th century, bookbinding is now machine-made, and this is how books are reproduced today.